Hi everybody, how are you? Hope all is well with you. Today I'm going to go into the practical session of database development using SQL. Specifically, our data management system that we're going to use is MySQL, which runs on WAMP server. Now, if you look at this display that I have right now, that's the WAMP server. It has Apache, it has the MySQL, it has MariaDB 10, and then also it has Apache 5 and Apache 6. I'm using WAMP server version 3.2.3, and it's on a 64-bit. It depends on your laptop. My laptop can at least accommodate software that run on 64-bit. So this is the software that we're going to use. My assumption is you have it installed on your computer. I said use WAMP server. It is an open source software. Have it installed on your computer, and then we can start the session. Now, if you look at the right-hand side, the bottom right-hand side of your window, when you go to that taskbar, when you click that icon, here you have the WAMP server. Now, this is showing, if you right-click it, it has start all services, stop all services, or restart all services. Now, my icon is showing green, implying that my server is on. Therefore, I am good to go. So this, if it is showing orange and red, it means that your server is not on, and therefore you cannot do anything. So please, to turn on your server, you click on Start All Services. So immediately you start all services. It will gradually change from red to orange, and then finally it will change to green, and then it will show you that you are ready to go and your server is on. So you go straight away on MySQL, that icon MySQL, and then you come to MySQL console. MySQL console. So you click that. Then you come to, you click on that icon of WAMP server, and then you click on MySQL, and then you click on MySQL console. Now, when you click that, it will give you this dialog box. So our default username is the root. Please don't change it. You click OK. And when you click OK, it gives you this command line where it is asking you to enter the password. The default password, you just click enter. And when you click enter, okay, then it automatically shows you the command for MySQL. So at this particular moment, we are ready to start. So for SQL, you cannot, what we're going to do now is we're going to try and we create databases, a database. So what we're doing is we're doing a DDL, data definition language, where we're supposed to create the database, creating tables and the structures within the tables. So I hope that you read through the notes that I sent earlier on. So what we're going to do is the server that we have on here, okay, the Apache server, already it has, the WAMP server, it already has some databases. So you want to see what databases are there. Maybe you can work with those databases, or you can alternatively create your own databases. So for us to see what databases are in, you can just write the syntax, show databases, and then you click enter. You just click on show databases, and then you click enter. Now what you see there, these are the databases that we have on the on this server: InfoSchema, Mark, MySQL, etc. Now after knowing the databases that are in, then we can create our database. Now we're going to create a database called DIM. So we say the general syntax for the creation of the database is create database, and then the database name. In this case, we are going to call the database dim. And then don't forget to terminate the statement with a semicolon. So when you terminate the statement there, they are telling you that the query is okay. So you have created that database. Now we want to see whether that database has been created, still using the same syntax. The syntax of show databases. When you enter, you can see our database is here. The database is called dim. Now, after creating that database, okay, remember I had earlier told you to create 3 tables, a table called student, course, and program. So right now we are going to start with trying to create the table called student, okay? But before we do that, you have 6 databases. You have got to select the database. Otherwise, if you just go straight to creating, the table will be misplaced somewhere. So you have to select the database where you want that table to be created. So in this case, you write the statement use dim. Okay, so now when you say use dim, now you have actually selected now the database called dim. Now the database called dim is where we are going to create the table student with registration number, which is a voucher, that is the data type. And in brackets, we are going to say it has, let's say, 10 characters. Then we are going to create the first name of the student, the last name of the student, and the first name, last name. First name of the student, which is a voucher. Please remember that for each and every particular column, you need to specify the data type and the domain. Then also we have the name, which is also a voucher. A name, which is also a voucher. A voucher. We can say also it has a domain of 10, and then we shall end with the student's date of birth, which has a data type called date, with a data type called date. And then we close the brackets, and then we terminate the statement. So if you look at this, they say the query is okay, implying that we have created the table and we have specified we have specified the columns that we want in the table. Now, for us to be able to see the different columns that we have in the table, we are going to run a syntax describe. So you say describe student. Now, by describing students, these are the different columns that we have created for the student table. Now, we need to, if you look at it, it does not have a primary key. So I remember I mentioned that you can be in position to modify or alter the table. You can modify the tables. So in this case, we are going to first try and we include a primary key for registration number. So where we want to include a primary key for the registration number, we can say our syntax is alter. You alter the table. You alter the table, and then the table name, which is student. You alter table name, which is student, and then you modify the column. So you write modify. In this case, the column is reg number, okay, which is a voucher with a domain of 10, a varchar with domain of 10. And in this case, we want to put a primary key, okay? And then we want to put a primary key, and then you terminate the statement. Now here they say the query is okay, the row has been affected. When we go to describe student, okay, terminate, you'll see that now reg number, originally if you look at the previous table, reg number, varchar, yes, it did have here, there was no primary key. But when you come down here now, it shows you it is a primary key, and we say that by default all primary key values are not null. That is why here in the column of null, now you see no, and yet earlier the column of null had yes. Now that is if you want to add a constraint, if you want to add a column to that table called student, we can be in position to also add a column by still using the same syntax. So we use the alter table syntax. So we are going to say alter table. By the way, for you to bring back the previous statement, you press the arrow key on your keyboard. So you say alter table student, and then we say add. Now we're going to add a new column. So we say add. In this case, we are going to add the course code with course code that is a varchar. Let's give it a domain of 10, and we close. Now, if you look at this, now we have said we have added a new column called course code. If we describe student, okay, the new course code is here. It has been added. That is for adding the column. Now, if you want to, let's say, change, or if you want to put a data type, okay, you can still also modify the data type. For example, we can modify the data type of let's modify the data type of what? Of date to year. Yeah. So we're going to come here, and then we say data type, let's say year. Okay, we shall change it later. Oh gosh, say that date of birth, put it as a year. So it's alter table student, and then the data type, we're going to modify the column, we're going to modify the column date of birth to year, and then you terminate. That is what you have done. So that is the syntax for modifying the data type. So if we describe student and terminate, you will see that date of birth has changed to year. So basically that is what I wanted to show you. So I want you to go and continue with the tables that I gave. You create them, create all the tables, give them the different data types and whatever. You can do a few things here and there, such that in my next class you have those things, and we shall continue from there. Have yourself a good day. Bye-bye.